Hello there. Welcome to Camp Video Games. This is a podcast that covers video games and their multimedia adaptations. And today we're talking about a little game called The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. This is the second part in an ongoing series. Hey, I'm Junior Camp Counselor Sean, and with me is Junior Camp Counselor Josh.
Hey, this is Junior Camp Counselor Josh. As always, here with a little bit of camping advice. If any dear friends offer you big welcoming hugs, why would you run away from those? Take them, enjoy them, because we are at the point in the game where we're about to meet the Gorons, and they really want to hug Link. That's the reference there.
Yeah,
sometimes these come really far out of left field.
Yeah, that's okay. Out of Hyrule Field?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so last episode we introduced the game and we worked our way through the Deku Tree, the first dungeon in this phenomenal game. And when we left off, Link had just left the Kokiri Forest and entered Hyrule Field. And then you say, oh my God, this is an open world game. And, oh, right. So we talk about multimedia adaptations. Later down the line, we're going to talk about The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time manga. Which is great, and you'll love it.
Yeah, I know nothing about it yet. I'm going to wait until we're done with all this before we get to it. So
it's a book with drawings. That's what a manga is.
Oh, yeah, okay,
yeah.
Okay.
You got to read it backwards.
I don't know how to do that. I can barely read forwards.
So, Hyrule Field. This is where a lot of people first said, "Wait, what's an open world game?" And they go, "Oh, this is an open world because there's a whole world and it's open."
Not my snobby butt, because I'd played Zelda 1.
Yeah, me too.
No, but I think we did start to dabble in this in the last episode, but we'll reiterate because it was, I think, some throwaway stuff at the end. Is that this game, upon revisiting, feels physically a lot smaller than it was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
A lot emptier than it was growing up. Which is in no way like a dismissal of its quality. Like in my playthrough here, I entered Hyrule Field for the first time immediately after having my first serious Minecraft session playing with our kid and like trying to build a house or whatever, and it just like warped my brain in understanding how small these spaces are, because Minecraft has its creative mode where you can just fly around and like just see everything all at once and see how tiny it all is, and how it really is just like a diorama box.
That's right. I remember this now. Yes.
Yeah, I think I talked about this a little bit last time.
And
but
while like Hyrule Field is the largest open area in the game, there's a lot of liminal space that is just kind of there to either hide kind of collectathon secrets or just to make it seem like a bigger world. And again, this is almost a 30-year-old game, so we can't really like judge it alongside Minecraft, which is a 20-year-old game.
Yeah,
how old is Minecraft at this? Like 15 years, maybe?
It's like 2011, 2013, something like that. I don't know. I feel like most of my critiques about this game are only meant sort of like quote unquote derogatorily if you are somebody who still is like, no, this is the greatest game ever made. Yeah.
It's a great game.
There's critiques to be had, and there have been better Zeldas since, you know. But when it came out, I would agree with you. It's one of the greatest, at least, console games. I don't know. And it's in competition with a few things, I think. For what is it, 98, 99?
98.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. You got Doom. You got World of Warcraft. Warcraft
started out as a PC game.
Yeah, like, I don't know. There's just like a couple PC games. There's a couple like bigger RPGs than this that I'm like, I'd still kind of prefer those.
Sure.
Like Final Fantasy 7, Xenogears, those were out by now. And I at this point in my life, I think I like those better than this, even though I'm still having a good time.
I'm having a great time. So the first place that comes to mind when I enter Hyrule Field is Lon Lon Ranch. Its name actually is like, you ever wonder why it's called Lon Lon Ranch?
No, I have not.
I have, and then I figured it out. Two people a father and daughter named Malin and
Oh.
Talon. They both had Lon at the end of their name, so Lon.
Oh, interesting. And Talon was from Link's Awakening. Is he a carryover from that?
What?
I think Talon. I could double check that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've played that one.
I think Talon might be the guy who, at the beginning of the game, who gets turned into a raccoon and lost in the woods.
Oh,
it's like your
cool.
first quest.
And it's Mare Rin that finds.
It's Mare
Link.
Rin in that game because I was like goofing it up at the beginning of this.
Uh-huh.
So I think they maybe tweaked it a little
Yeah.
to make Talon and Malon so they can do Lon Ranch. But
Yeah.
let me look that up real
Sure.
quick. But anyway.
And there's also this like rude guy named Ingo that works at the farm.
Luigi
the ranch.
Mangione. I just have to like scream that every time. We got Luigi Mangione out here working on the farm.
It's a him. So the ranch is a spot that as a child has very little practical application aside from learning Epona's song. Josh, we talked about Ocarina of Time for quite a while last episode, and we never once talked about music. Which
that's
is
a good point.
a wild misrepresentation of what is actually like important in this game.
Yeah.
The music in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is some of the best game soundtrack that exists at this point. And I do stand by that. It's iconic, it's memorable, it's catchy, and it still holds up.
And I mean, there have been, people have written and made YouTube videos about this, but like
They have?
this
is also the most discussed game in history.
It's probably is, but
we are screaming into the void here.
I do like agree with or want to double down on the fact that like on top of how good the music is, I will still like literally within the last 24 hours have walked around my house humming like Zelda's Lullaby or Song of Storms or whatever. And I will do that even when I'm not actively working through a playthrough of Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
And that this was done with they told Koji Kondo like, well, because the player needs to be able to play these songs as the way they quote unquote cast spells in the game.
Yeah.
You have to do it with 5 notes. Which right? There's 5 notes you can play on the ocarina
A and then the
bending
4 C
it.
buttons.
Right. So all these melodies that are like all-time bangers from the Zelda series are limited to 5 notes from 1 key.
Yeah. Keep it simple, stupid.
It's like bonkers. That not like he didn't just come up with one that you remember. It's like once you get to the adult timeline, the temple themes are a little less memorable. Everything else is just like, man, that's just gonna be ingrained in your brain that you're gonna be on your deathbed just humming Zelda's Lullaby.
Sure.
You know?
I'll double down. Every time it rains, Song of Storms comes to mind. And like it now, like this video game soundtrack has like elemental associations.
Yeah. And like I'll also shout out my favorite video game, like sort of mashup musical homage I've maybe ever seen is the
Ocarina of Rhyme,
the Take 5 of Storms. Have you ever heard this?
Yeah, I've heard that.
The mashup of Dave Brubeck's Take 5, which I always thought sounds a little like Favorite Things from Sound of Music.
Sure.
And where they just play Song of Storms and it's in a 5/4 count. 1, 2,
Okay,
3,
I was about to ask
4,
what the
5.
time
1, 2,
signature
3,
is.
4, 5. And then they mash it in a little bit with like the melody of the other song. It's one of the best things. I should dig up a link to that and find it for people because it's like, and it was one of those things like on your Instagram reels and then gone forever,
Yeah.
you know? And I'm like, this is one of the coolest like music, like video game remixes I've seen somebody do. What's the one you mentioned?
There was the Ocarina of Rhyme, which turned the original Zelda Ocarina of Time music into hip hop beats. And then there was another one called Zelda and Chill. There's a playlist that's pretty popular these days. And they really like milk that soundtrack for all it's worth in turning it into modern, like chill ambient jazz.
Yes.
hip-hop
That brings
beats.
back a memory of, I haven't done this in a while, but every once in a while I'd go to the, your wife's cafe for work. And one time I was there and that was on.
Oh, really?
And I was like, somebody let Sean in here.
Maybe. So yeah, great music, great soundtrack. It's the best of all time. It's never been.
I mean,
no,
I would
actually
put the soundtrack, I think, definitely holds up better than other things.
Mhm.
I don't think we've run into a very good example of my main critique of this game yet, so I'm going to hold on to it.
Okay, we'll hold on.
Give people a reason to keep listening.
Yes,
The soundtrack is still pretty unparalleled, especially. I already mentioned the limitations of like the melody, forming, but the like the chipset of making music on an N64. Like I don't listen to this and I'm like, it's grating because of like the limitations of the sound chip or whatever. Fantastic stuff. But we were talking about Hyrule Field, Lon Lon Ranch.
You can get another bottle. You can get your first bottle in Lon Lon Ranch.
But can you go there even before
going to Zelda? Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. You can go in. You can do the cuckoo finding cuckoo game with Talon inside the ranch.
Talon's
the father, Malon's the daughter.
So if you go to the ranch, Talon will be there to do the cuckoo game, even though we're going to find him milk drunk.
In the time in this specific sequence of events, I can't say with certainty.
Okay, never mind.
But right
Scratch
now,
that from the record.
The main objective right now, the Deku Tree's dying command to Link was to seek out Princess Zelda in Hyrule Castle.
Yeah.
So most people are just going to beeline right for the castle, but you first have this little introductory area called Castle Town.
Yeah.
And there are so many fucking people here.
I was honestly, I'm replaying the game. I'm playing the remake from the Nintendo 3DS from 2011. And then it's I'm upscaling it to 4K playing it on my TV, and it's gorgeous.
It looks great.
It's fantastic. This town has way more detail than I remember coming in here. And they keep it really small. They keep it simple and just have this square full of people to help it feel so lived in. But man, I was just like, I went up to the Bombshoe bowling alley.
Yeah.
And I did not realize that, that's like a Bombshoe sweeping through with a rainbow tail.
Yes. A lot of the signage
before I played this.
A lot of the signage in the original release is very muddled up, and it's hard to translate onto the screen. And seeing this upscale is just like, this is real.
I'm surprised like how well they upscale from, because even that 3DS remake, it's like not even 720p, because I don't know when that 3DS. Definitely not HD, but like whatever. I had a lot of fun running around this little castle town.
Yeah, you're good at talking to NPCs. Do you have any specific ones that stood out that have any?
I thought you were going to ask why is that, and I was like, well, because I play video games high.
Oh,
so I really enjoy hanging out with fake people.
Yeah.
Anyways,
hey, shout out to all you NPCs out there.
Yeah, which is funny because like. And now that you mention it, you know what? I do have one. The dog lady's house.
Yeah.
Is very interesting.
Right, because once the sun goes down, the Hyrule Castle town is just overrun with stray dogs.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Well, I don't remember that part because I actually didn't experience that in this playthrough, but I went through her house and I wish I had the footage up. There's something going on in her house and the decor and the amount of details that imply like her dog is dead and stuffed in the house, and that she's like, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, like I don't know, like, and that this is like a replacement dog, maybe.
Yeah, sure. Filling that void.
I don't know. I think I just remember seeing a stuffed dog, but there's still dog accoutrement everywhere, and like a little bed next to the bed.
And you find her dog in the castle, and I think she probably gives you a piece of heart. Maybe I'm not totally sure.
At this point, like she's just there.
Yeah.
With that one dog, that like Yorkie looking thing. But that was the thing I dwelled on the most in this playthrough. I could be completely wrong. It could just be she has a little stuffy of her dog.
Yeah.
But I got some implied darkness.
Yeah.
You're trying to like, this is like those people who like clone their dog.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? I remember seeing a story about.
Oh, sure.
And they're like, well, my dog can't die. I'm just going to clone it. That's what I like the impression I got about the lady from digging around. That was my favorite sort of NPC little color here. I also did look up it in Link's Awakening, Talon and Malon, it was Terran and Marin.
Ah, okay.
So they just changed that second syllable for both of them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I don't want to really get into the Happy Mask like game or like the collectathon that this offers. Like it doesn't do anything for me.
Mhm.
I know, and I'm gonna
as a kid, I remember it being hugely exciting. But finish your thought.
I never played Majora's Mask beyond the first hour, and I know that
many such cases.
The Happy Mask salesman, it plays an important role in that, and he's got this like he's physically based after Miyamoto. They
funny.
made him look like Shigeru Miyamoto, which I thought was very funny because he's such a sinister, imposing, like maniac kind of guy that has like a secret. And it's just like, what is up with this guy? And then you're like, Miyamoto seems like such a sweetheart. Like,
yeah,
but who knows? He's also like a titan of an industry that is like,
and those guys are always psychos.
Oh, they're so chill.
Yeah,
so chill. And yeah, I mean, I'm personally at this point in my life, I am running straight through that town and just going to Zelda, like, because I like to get the ball moving in this. But there's plenty of like little mini games. Yeah, you can increase your slingshot. I think that's what your prize is with the slingshot game.
You know what? I don't remember if I think I gave up. I played it 3 or 4 times, and then I don't remember. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Back to the mask shop though. The reward at the end being the mask of truth that lets you talk to the truth stones.
Yeah. We haven't talked about them yet.
The gossip stones.
Gossip stones.
That felt extremely worthwhile as a kid. It felt like, it builds out all this lore in the world so much, and it's locked behind this very long trading sequence quest. But in this playthrough, I actually just last night, I did like the first mask sale.
The Keaton mask.
Where you sell the Keaton mask to the guard that will meet in Kakariko Village in a minute. And then I was immediately like, yeah, this is boring. I don't care. I know what the reward is. I know I could just look up everything.
All the dialogue.
The dialogue I could read from this. Like, it's just sort of a time waster at this point in life. So.
When this game came out, I was like just starting to like have internet access, like unsupervised internet access.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like the main things that I was looking up at that point was like
single images of pornography that take an hour to download.
Ah, yes. Halle Berry from Swordfish. It's walkthroughs.
Yeah,
I would.
Oh, Game Facts, big time.
Game Facts with the ASCII titles.
Yeah,
and Ocarina of Time and Mega Man Legends were the first 2 game walkthroughs that I printed out every page on my dad. I was like, what the fuck happened to all of our ink?
This used to be a thing. You used to have to print stuff, and ink was very expensive, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
My parents still have a printer. I think that's cute.
We have a printer.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Well, because we run a business.
You have a business, and it's not near the library. The library is our printer. Like on the rare occasion we have to print, we go to the library. So
that makes sense. There's just a lot of NPC. Like this is like Link finally among Hylians for the first time in his life.
Yeah.
He's been raised among the Kokiri.
Still a Kokiri so far as he's aware.
As far as he knows, he's a Kokiri. Well, no, because at this point, I believe the Deku tree spilled the Deku beans about his heritage.
Does he? Because the baby Deku tree later in the game is like, by the way, you're not a Kokiri.
Oh, okay. Whatever. I don't talk to NPCs.
Or he explains like you grew up because you're not a Kokiri. Mm-hmm. Maybe I don't know.
Link knows that he's special. It took longer than it should have for him to get a fairy in the Kokiri forest, and like that's like the right. Oh, I saw the stuffed dog. Sorry, I'm watching the footage. Is that
I'll
up
switch
right now?
to the footage for a second because we're to the dog part where this lady has all the accoutrements for the dog. But then there's a stuffed version of it sitting on the desk. Oh, that could have been the previous rendition, and all this is an homage to the previous dog, and the other one's just like waning for attention, you know?
Yeah, that's a little chilling. So yeah, Link knows he's special. That's all. We'll say that much.
Yeah,
he knows he's special. And he's got a lot of responsibility for such a little guy.
One of my main critiques that I'm having of this game, not the one I was referencing earlier, is like that it is a way smaller. We've already talked about like it's smaller physically, but like story wise, it's a lot smaller than I remember.
Okay.
The dialogue is a lot less good than I remember. It feels like extremely directly translated a lot of the time. Like there's a lot of goofy sentence structure and just extremely direct language. Like, you are the special boy of destiny. Go to this place and do the thing. You know, like no like sort of feelings or character behind it. Which I think is standing out to me for a couple of reasons. One is like, as we've talked about, I've been spending a lot of time revisiting Breath of the Wild over the last 6 months. And I'm doing a lot of, because I stream these, even though like I don't have many viewers, I still like read a lot of the NPC dialogue out loud, and it really makes you realize how clunky it is when you read it out loud. Yeah. And like try to put a human voice to it. It's not great. It could use a little polish, which probably should have mentioned this at the beginning of the episode. I don't know if this was since we've recorded, but anyway, there's rumors of another remake of this happening now, as we lead into the movie in 2027,
which just finished. At the time of recording, it wrapped. The filming is now finished.
Yes, allegedly that was also happened this week. So I would really honestly, I would welcome both a rewrite and voiceover. People critique like the voiceover in Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and like I think for the demographic it's intended, like tweens, teens, like it's pretty well done. Like it's not, I don't know. I have no problem with the voiceover that they've added into those games, as long as Link doesn't talk.
That's the most important part. Yeah.
It needs another pass at the script for sure to redo this game one more time.
I presume they're going to, if they remake this game, it'll be Ocarina of Time in the Breath of the Wild.
I have no idea. Yeah, my best guess is they will just reskin it and send it out the door.
Yeah.
Because as I'm saying this, like I'm thinking like, oh, the Super Mario RPG remake that they did a few years, remaster, quote unquote. Like they did very little changes to gameplay. I don't think they touched the script. And that holds up. But that's like that game's 3 years older than this. And like the script is like breezier and way more personable. And you're like, oh, these are characters who have like quirks and stuff. And this is just, everybody is such a just like direction deliverer.
More appropriately, what about the Link's Awakening remake?
Also,
you've played that. I've only played the original.
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. I doubt they did anything to the script. But I also remember that feeling a little, maybe about on par chunkiness wise of this script.
Yeah.
But it's like that is a smaller game in a lot of ways where like I feel like that's welcome. I don't know. And it's like, again, it's like I'm critiquing this as the game that many people are like, no, it's the best of all time.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's more top 50-ish.
It's great.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great.
I'm just nitpicking for those people.
Yeah.
Like,
it's very easy to be hyperbolic about this game.
It's very easy to have nostalgia goggles.
Yes. The nostalgia mask. It looks like Miyamoto, actually. So Link he has to sneak into Hyrule Castle because no one invited him.
Mm-hmm.
He's going because a tree told him to.
Yeah.
Like right now he is just this feral child from the woods who has been told by a talking tree to go talk to the princess.
Easy enough.
And this is like,
can you think about how easy it would be to just go have a chat with Baron Trump right now? Like you just got to sneak into his dorm room or whatever.
Yeah. Is he over 18?
I think so.
Okay,
I don't
fuck
know.
that kid.
But like, when you think of like the scale of that, it is like adorably quaint to think like, oh, it takes you about 10 minutes to break into the private, garden of the princess.
Yeah. But no, it turns into a stealth game for a second. We've got Metal Gear Link here.
Okay, I think now I can bring up my number one, both critique and like problem with doing a remake or remaster of this game.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously people are not going to welcome the camera controls of this game in 2026, right?
100%.
But this is the first like really standout moment where this comes up repeatedly in this game. A lot of its like puzzle challenges or just general challenge is dependent on how bad the camera is.
I'll say it's not bad. I'll just say on how restrictive the camera is.
Yeah, restrictive. I'll say bad. Again, amazing for its time. But now that we just understand the concept of like, no, the right stick is the camera control, and that has just become ubiquitous, like its own language that people understand, But like now that that's the norm, if you go back to this and this part we have to break in, the difficulty is dependent on like you need spatial awareness of where the guards are when you can't see them. Right. But if you have a modern camera control, you can just keep them in your line of sight, and it's way easier to like be aware.
Yeah.
And like there's just puzzle after puzzle in this game. I keep coming up like where that's the thing. Is like, no, because the camera's so rigid, that's what makes it difficult. So like if you remake it with a modern camera, I don't know how you will make any of this compelling to play.
I'll bring up the Yiga clan hideout in Breath of the Wild, which is the like stealth dependent section of that game. And I thought that they did a pretty good job of making it difficult but doable on your first try. Simply because the guards here in Hyrule Courtyard, they're when you're outside trying to get inside the gates, like they're all stationary, and it's really just like kind of like a game of like Minesweeper, where it's like just don't get close enough to their
just gotta
like,
stay out of their
trigger areas.
Yeah,
and when it gets to inside the castle, when they're walking around, that's closer to like what I expect if they are actually remaking this game. I think it'll be closer in gameplay style to the Yiga clan hideout, where they're walking around. They've got clear lines of sight that you can dodge around. And
it'd be funny if they did like it full on Metal Gear Solid, like the same UI and caution alarm. Which like as you like say that, then it's like now we're into like, no, this is a more serious quote unquote remake territory where you're changing gameplay to make it work for a modern audience.
Well, because what the main part of like these remakes, they're not for young people. They are for people in their late 30s, in their early 40s, who grew up playing the original and who want to feel that same feeling again. Like that's the only reason to remake a game is to appeal to the original like audience.
Yeah. Well, to counter that, I agree with that. That's probably 60-70% of the audience.
Yeah.
Our own kid here, literally like I just told her about how like you and I are covering this game now last week, and she remembered playing it a little bit like last summer. She finished the Link's Awakening remake, which she had a blast with,
right?
Because it had been modernized for her.
It's a simple top-down like classic Zelda game.
And then this week we're celebrating. She finally beat Ganon in Breath of the Wild. She's starting the Champions Ballad DLC stuff now. But so I told her about this game, and she brought up like the two most like obvious reasons why I would agree a kid would not want to play it.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, I remember that one. It was just too janky, which like the frame rate is too chunky, like, and she mentioned like the controls, the camera, and the fact that like a 10-year-old who's never held an N64 controller in that direct port on the Switch with a Switch Pro controller, can't map their brain to it. I was like, oh yeah, those are the exact two reasons to like remake this game for a young person.
Yeah.
And she like nailed them. Like it was like all she said about it. She's like, yeah, I remember it. It was chunky and it was too hard to control.
Yep.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like I agree. It's
70% of the audience, the projected audience for this remake is for millennials.
Losers.
Yes.
People
Guys
who
with
listen to this podcast. People who make this podcast.
yes, complete dorks.
I have fun, but I also am well aware I'm not cool.
Yeah, that's all right. What is cool anyway?
Yeah, right.
Cool is the absence of heat, of passion.
I just know what I like, and I like playing video games.
Yeah.
Simple ones sometimes even.
I like talking about them with you, buddy.
Yeah.
So when Link finally gets past the first round of guards, he comes across Talon, the owner of the Lon Lon Ranch.
He's so milk drunk. This
Yes,
guy's always so milk drunk.
Yeah,
I love
he's
him
getting
so
high
much.
on his own supply here.
He's my favorite NPC.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
to answer that question.
And
from
he's
earlier.
Mario.
Yeah.
Like, and he's just Mario, and Ingo is just Luigi.
Yeah.
But yeah, Talon's so you have to get caught by the guards once.
Yep.
So that when you get thrown out, they literally just throw you out. They're like, and stay out.
They throw you out like, oh God, what was it? Jazz, his friend in Fresh Prince?
Yes.
Was his name Jazz? Or am I just messing?
DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Oh, that was him. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, she gives you that egg, and then you have to solve the wait a day puzzle. You have to solve. This is the first time the
wait a day puzzle.
They say
yes.
like,
ooh, so hard.
Oh, there's a day night cycle. Make use of it.
Yes. And by this point, you could have already learned the Sun Song in Kakariko Village if you so chose to.
Oh yeah. Okay. So you can fast forward through this.
Yes, exactly.
I waited around all night.
Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't take too long. The day, I think the day cycle is like 10 minutes. I'm not entirely sure actually.
It's pretty short.
Maybe it's like 5 minutes.
I think it's like 5-ish.
Mhm.
Because I was just like playing with some stuff last night where I just left him standing in the field. And I was just like, I was trying to like tweak settings in my emulator, and then it's like all of a sudden there's zombies coming at me in like what felt very, very fast.
Correction, stealthos.
Whatever they are. Anyway, then we gotta wake Malin
Talon up.
Talon, god dang it. So we can do a proper Zelda taxes box puzzle. Where this is like there's so many. This game defines Zelda taxes. I was saying when I was streaming last night, I was like, I want that to proliferate throughout the Zelda playing community, and I want it credited to me of what a Zelda tax is. Where it's like I see the puzzle, I understand it, I just have to go through the time-consuming operation of moving the boxes around or whatever it is. There's a lot of that in this game because it's a little slow to move boxes, and there's a lot of box moving puzzles.
And
but this one's pretty simple. You just go
the block pushing puzzles are also like they're pretty. I mean, that's just like a sad after effect of the proliferation of 3D gaming.
Yeah.
Where they're like, look at this room. It's so cool. And look, you could push a box and it's going to take a long time and it's not fun, but hey, you
can look at the room.
Yeah. Resident Evil is also guilty of that. The first 3 Resident Evil games are
Tomb Raider, big time.
Tomb Raider. Yeah. So luckily there's no box moving puzzles in Doom.
Yeah.
They know how to just keep it
Doom's
snappy.
good, man.
Yeah.
All games we've talked about here on Camp Video Games. Go look up all those episodes.
That's right. I'm probably not going to link them below. But so, you know, Link gets into the courtyard, and then he's like dealing with soldiers walking around on like pre-programmed little routes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's charming, and there's not really any other sections in the game like this that like you got no control over your camera while you're trying to stay out of the eye line of NPCs.
But that taking the control of the camera away from you is what makes this section
that
work,
is the
like
challenge
you were saying earlier.
Right? Yeah, exactly as you were saying. So, you know, it's not fun, but you can do it fast. So there's that. Yeah. That's nice. Especially if you've played this game like 30 times like I have.
I'm like, where has anybody made good stealth gameplay other than Metal Gear Solid? Like every time I encounter stealth in a video game, it's like Just wait for your turn to move.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the first game that comes to mind is a PC first person. It's not a shooter, but it's called Thief, and it had a lot of stealth aspects to it. I didn't play very much of it.
Who made that game?
I don't know.
In my brain, I associate it with Daikatana. Is it around that same era? Did they release at the same time?
Daikatana.
Daikatana. Yeah.
That's a John Romero game.
Yes, right. But like,
I don't know. I don't know if Romero. I feel like I would have.
I don't. Not saying Romero worked on it, but like, I'm just wondering if they were contemporaries, like extremely close together. Because I think I'm just like pulling some brainstem memory of like a PC Gamer Mag issue where it was like both of those games were covered.
Interesting.
And thinking like I couldn't tell the difference between them. Like I don't remember.
Oh,
or maybe I had a demo disc with both of them.
They were kind of muddy looking first person shooters.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Daikatana was a huge failure.
Yeah, I finished Masters of Doom in the last few weeks.
Oh, cool.
And it dwells on that quite a bit. It's very funny.
Yeah, Romero, like because he got such a W with Doom, and then it was just like, where'd the magic go, John?
Yeah, you need two Johns to make a good one.
That's right.
So anyway,
Link, he reaches his target, the Princess Zelda. Luckily, he's got no ill intentions toward her. He's a good boy.
Yeah, because he could murder her.
Yeah, he could have just slit her throat. Also,
lack of attention she is paying to her spatial
I was watching
proximity here.
I was watching your gameplay footage while you were in Castletown, and Link is just like swinging his sword around people, and like no one seems to really care that there's a fully armed child that's just like unsupervised, swinging his sword around, and he ain't from around here.
And I love that there's also like this tower you can just do backflips off of, like 15 feet and just keep rolling. But anyway, I digress because we do indeed meet the princess at this point. Present her our spiritual stone of the forest so that she knows who we are.
The Kokiri Emerald is the first of 3 spiritual stones that Link has to collect in order to do something, and we don't know what it is at this point, but we know that it's important that we don't let Ganondorf get them.
Can we, which like makes me want to critique people's critiques of Tears of the Kingdom, where people I see all the time are like, secret stones? That's so stupid. Zelda's not this stupid. I'm like,
are you kidding?
Yes, it is.
It is so stupid.
Like, it's like literally that's basically what this conversation is. She's like, you have one of the secret stones. I need you to get the other 2 secret stones. Yeah. Like the only difference is they actually have names in this one.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you're 1 degree closer to just calling it a MacGuffin in Tears of the Kingdom. I'll give you that. But like, they're still all just MacGuffins. Like, it does not matter. That's
right. Yeah. Because in Tears of the Kingdom, the secret stones give you like superpowers. Right? Like,
give you the. Yeah,
they increase your natural abilities.
They were like what made the heroes powerful in the previous age, or
the imprisoning war.
Yeah.
So okay, Link comes across Zelda, and she's spying on what seems to be a really important moment in Hyrule history, where Ganondorf is presenting himself in a show of fealty to the King of Hyrule, who I don't think has an official name.
I don't believe.
I think he's just King Hyrule. And no queen again. Like this is a motherless game.
Yeah.
It's
a motherless series.
I can't think of any mothers in this game.
I don't know that a mother of Zelda is ever mentioned in any game. If somebody can,
she gets mentioned in Breath of the Wild for sure, because there's the talk of her mother dying.
There's like one scene where they mention mom dying. I think. One memory.
That, like mom was like, she had the juice, but Zelda couldn't get it yet.
But yeah, if anybody has more like Zelda's mom lore from any game, feel free to comment and fill us in.
And this I feel like one of the big reasons that so many people like were so deeply touched by this game is because it pulls at the same heartstrings that like Disney movies do, where like, you know, most of your heroes in a Disney story are going to be orphaned or at least half orphaned. And there's just something about stories that dwell on like incredible orphans who have these like larger than life adventures before they even hit puberty.
Or like a Gundam.
Yes. Oh, yes. Or what's the robots in
The robots
Evangelion?
Ava's.
Ava's, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then in that case, the robot is your man.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Hey, we haven't shouted out my sister and Evangelion in me in a while.
I have dreams of someday doing my wife Evangelion.
Hey, there we go.
I don't know if I can get her to sit through it. It's it
gets rough.
Yeah.
you got a delicate wife there sometimes.
She's a little more, anyways. So
Ganondorf is pledging fealty.
Yeah.
Or at least claiming to pledge fealty to King of Hyrule. He is the leader of the Gerudo tribe, which are the desert dwelling. They're not Hylians, apparently. They're Gerudos. It's a different race.
Yeah. There's weird racist overtones.
You got humanoid races in the Zelda series where you've got the Hylians, the Kokiri, the Gerudo, and the Sheikah. Like those all seem to be they could probably, I feel like we're like very, very gently treading into eugenics territory here, but like I believe they can interbreed.
The ethnicities or whatever.
Yeah, the ethnicities is probably a better way of putting it, but
it's weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
No need to dwell too much on it.
You don't see much raw dogging in the Zelda series.
Thank God.
You gotta go to
It don't matter. If it comes to you, we can revisit this bit later.
What's the horrible art website where people draw furries and stuff?
Talking about DeviantArt?
DeviantArt, yeah.
DeviantArt, some Tumblr.
There's definitely some raw dogging of the Zelda series going on DeviantArt.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, Rule 34 is always in effect.
Yeah.
Hopefully, not too many of this era of Zelda characters.
Yeah, let's get till the adult timeline before that happens.
Yeah.
So, okay, Zelda's watching Ganondorf do this false pledge of fealty, and she's been having the same dream that Link's been having. About a dark cloud in the sky, and something needs to be done to stop this dark cloud. And she's basically doing her own dream interpretation. She's like, that guy is the dark cloud, which is also a game from PS2 that looks like Link. Mm-hmm. Like that. Do you ever play that one?
I rented it when it came out.
Yeah,
but
you're like, I like Link.
Deep memories of it.
Yeah.
I remember it was like being sold. It's like, oh, this is a RPG for the PlayStation 2 that isn't like a Squaresoft Final Fantasy, whatever. I was like, oh, that's exciting. And then it was pretty memorable to me. So
yeah.
Basically we do this sort of like, oh, now there's a special boy and girl of destiny, and full trust is solidified between the two immediately.
Yeah, because they've been having the same dreams, man. So Zelda teaches. No, I'm sorry, Impa. Impa is a Sheik bodyguard for Zelda.
Impa is a Sheikah bodyguard of Zelda.
Bodyguard,
Then we meet somebody just named Sheik later.
Right. We'll get to that later.
And
so Zelda writes Link a letter of
recommendation to his favorite, his university of choice.
Yes.
To use as he likes.
I just met him, but he seems like a fine young man. All of his references check out, and he has a 3.2 GPA. Not bad, right?
Yeah. And then they say, go east, young man, to the village.
There's 2 more spiritual stones for Link to collect. And right now it's just like the plan for them is not yet disclosed. They just need to keep these stones out of Ganondorf's hands. Ganondorf killed the Deku tree trying to get the Kokiri emerald. And Lord knows he's up to no good elsewhere as well.
Yeah. So the idea is get one step ahead of him. We will find out the whole time we're always one step behind him.
That's right.
But first order of business.
Impa teaches Zelda's lullaby. Very important.
Very important. We already talked about what a big deal this song is. But it's basically like Zelda's lullaby will become your spell sort of to like enter a lot of things.
Yes. It's your credential spell.
Yeah,
where you could say, I'm a representative of the royal family because only they know these 3 notes.
Which is like a little clunky in that, like, oh, I need to give you this letter to say that you could go places. And then also you need this song to say that you can go other places.
Yeah.
There's a lot of just, this is like Zelda really solidifying its design of like things being gate kept behind a specific item.
Yes. Yes.
Very much locking that into place.
And people love to sequence break this game, which is very interesting to see the ways that people can do that.
Yeah.
But I love this type of game design where you need the slingshot in order to leave the room that you get the slingshot so that you can then use it to defeat the boss in the Deku tree. And then once you get that, you need the emerald in order to talk to Zelda, and you need Zelda in order to get past the guard to get to Death Mountain. Like it's just like
raises the question: is Zelda Ocarina of Time a Metroidvania? It's like honestly, really, the only difference I feel like is the amount of direction you are given in a modern. I call this modern Zelda.
Yeah.
Like, kind of like, what is the other big difference? Like. From like Zelda 1 and like Super Metroid in terms of like you go around a map, you poke at barriers, and then you get an item that makes you get past that barrier.
Yeah. Oh, good. I've got a missile. Now I can get through the red doors.
Yeah. Oh, good. I've got a candle. Now I can burn the bush to get me into this dungeon.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Somebody explain to me the difference there that makes it not a Metroid Zeldvania.
I think a big part of a Metroidvania is it's going to all take place inside of a dungeon. Where you have one comprehensive map that you're unlocking, whereas Ocarina of Time has separate dungeons with an overworld.
I think it's the separation of the dungeons.
Yes,
because
but it's a good pull, and I do agree with that.
It's very close. Otherwise,
very similar gameplay designs.
Yeah.
So Link, following the directions from Impa, he heads toward Kakariko Village, and then he starts picking up a bunch of chickens.
Yeah, I got frustrated by the chicken puzzle this time because there's like a little corner gated off that I couldn't remember how to get to.
You gotta float with it.
I thought so. I didn't know where to float from. I don't know. I'll go back to it.
Part of me is like really glad that I don't like always catch your streams.
Yeah,
because I remember
to see how bad I do. I see the things I forget.
Playing that, I was like, it was Resident Evil. And I was just like, I've got to stop. I've got to like, I was just like, you fucking idiot. You missed everything. And it's just like, no, I respect you. I don't want to come across as overbearing. But it's just like, I was like, how dare you not?
I'm pretty good about like being clear when I welcome backseat gaming or not. Like last night I was telling you, I was like, there was like one thing I was playing the Forest Temples, one thing I just could not remember. Yeah. And somebody was like, just go this way. I was like, thank God. Oh my God. Saved me like an hour. But anyway.
So it's not even an essential side quest, but you catch all the cuckoos for her. Her name is Anju. That's the cuckoo lady, and she gives you a bottle of milk. And there's 4 bottles in this game, and you only need 1. But the more the merrier, because the bottles, very important tool in this game. They're used to hold fairies, which are basically extra lives in this game. I think we might have talked about this in our Breath of the Wild discussion a few years back, but like, what's going on with the fairies? Are you consuming these fairies? It's like,
I feel like they just they cast a resurrection spell type thing.
Yes,
they come out and they cast rays, and that uses up their magic, and then they go back to restore themselves somewhere. Maybe.
Hope so.
I don't think Mr. Miyamoto thought about it that hard, so I'm not going to think about it much harder myself.
Oh, I'll be hard while I think about it. Who played the fairy?
And it started.
Hook?
Well, I was gonna say it started a little more, or a little less. What am I trying to say? A little less mysterious in the original Zelda. That it's just a fairy pond, and she's like, "Let me love on you and make you feel better."
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think they say anything. I think you just walk up and these hearts float around you and refill you. Like that makes more sense to me than why if you imprison one in a bottle, it would come out and say, yeah, let me help you as soon as you open that bottle.
It's a strange disambiguation in this game where you're like, what's going on? That's okay. No worries. So we could talk about the gold sculptulas. There's a spooky old house in Kakariko Village.
Oh, these freaks are so messed up.
Yeah. So like it's a family that gets cursed by the gold Skulltulas, and in order to remove the curse from this poor family, you need to go around the world destroying gold Skulltulas and then taking the coins that they leave behind as a way of like clearing the juju out of this cursed house.
Sure.
And I'll just say from the very get-go, there's 100 gold Skulltulas to find in this game, maybe 99, but you don't need to get more than 50.
Yeah. We said this
after
last
50,
time,
it is a worthless endeavor. It is on par with the Korok seeds in Breath of the Wild, where you're like, oh, they are just wasting my time.
Like, honestly, after like the first 10, when you get the adult wallet, it's kind of a waste of time.
You want to get the Giant's wallet if you want to get the big Goron sword.
Oh, okay. So the big Goron sword costs more than the 200 that you get in the
I'm
adult
fairly
wallet?
certain that's the case. Yeah.
Because as I said, I just finished the first like adult temple, and I don't think I've bought anything yet.
Yeah, it's interesting because
not
like
a lot of use for rupees in this game.
Money is very unimportant in this one.
Yeah.
I could go the only time I think I ever bought something was the Deku shield after it got destroyed in one of the temples.
Mm-hmm.
Like other than that, or I guess just the first Deku shield that you have to save up 40 rupees for in Kokiri Forest.
Yeah. It's
like a lot of people, that could be the only time you ever set foot into a store.
Yeah, and it's a shame because there's like a lot of moments where they're like, oh, this enemy drops a lot of money, like the hands that fall. If you like defeat one of those, you get like 4 red rupees at 20 a pop or whatever.
Rocks.
And I'm like, well, my wallet's full, so that's not an exciting reward.
I just remember,
and there's nothing to spend it on.
Yeah, the reward you get for collecting every single gold Skulltula coin is 100 rupees.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, like you've ruined my day if that's what's happening,
right?
Especially since there are no prizes between 50 and 100 after you've collected the first 50.
Oh,
like
that stinks.
If I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
Because I also play this high. So. Oops.
What else goes on in Kakariko Village that's worth discussing?
There's we could talk about some of the NPCs in Kakariko Village are interesting. There's during the day, there's this master carpenter who's got all of these guys running around the town, and they're building what will eventually become the building that houses the archery game in Kakariko Village. But at nighttime, under that same tree, there's like a demonic
weird little freak
Hylian.
I just ran into him. I did not run into him at like up to this point. And I went back and was like, oh yeah, this guy.
Yeah, this guy's creepy.
Yeah.
He's like a misanthrope. He hates people. He thinks they're disgusting. And he's like, I mean, his mental health doesn't seem that great.
Doesn't seem to be doing good. His physical health doesn't look great either.
Yeah, that too. So we could talk about probably more when we get to the adult line, because some certain things happen that makes for an interesting story. But I'll just kind of summarize by like, he is the Cuckoo Lady's brother, and they are both the children of the carpenter and the potion shop lady. Mm-hmm. That's the family that lives in Kakariko Village.
So that's like the whole village is this one family and the Skulltula people, basically.
Yeah,
that's most of it.
There's other folks, but they don't really play that big of a role in there. The only other guy, there's this like one guy who he'll just buy anything that you can store in a bottle.
Yeah,
he's got junkie vibes. Like,
sell me. He's like slapping. Sell me what you got in your bottle.
And it's fun, I guess, if you're like, hey, I could use an extra couple rupees. But
doesn't seem very useful.
No.
I do like when I see these construction guys.
Yeah.
I'm saying this because, all right, there's definitely some intention of like queer coding them.
Interesting.
In the way that like they move very limp-wristedly and flightily. Which at the time though, most people would do as a derogatory thing.
Right.
Like, oh, it was like a joke, like, oh, limp-wristed queers. Like,
sure.
But in Breath of the Wild, you have the what's his name? Is it Bolson? There's all the sons, and there's the one who is the foreman that helps you build the house, who is like definitely lovingly queer coded.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I wonder if that was like the intention all along. And there's like, yeah, we missed our shot back at Ocarina of Time and just made it a little like offensive that it's also the construction guys who are like these queer coded characters.
That's cool.
That like, I think they meant well in doing this. And they was like, this is the best way we can represent this with our 3D tech at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
And it comes off like the way people would like make fun of queer people.
Yeah, and the master carpenter, he's always complaining about how like lazy they are and that like they like don't like earn their keep.
They're all just constantly frolicking about town.
Yeah, that is a very fun detail. I
love them.
Who doesn't love a good frolic now and then, right?
I mean, get yourself a good union. You'll have the right to frolic as much as you need to get the job done.
Yep. Plus overtime.
Yeah, I just that to me feels like something intentional that they've been doing for over 25 years now that is now maybe dialing in. I love that character in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. He's part of the
guy that's putting up those signs everywhere in Tears of the Kingdom.
I think that's Hudson, the guy with like the long hair.
I don't remember the character design. I just remember that was a part of it where it's like he like needed to set up signs everywhere and like you could.
So Hudson in Tears of the Kingdom, he's trying to like help rebuild the whole kingdom. I believe it's Bolson, the one I'm thinking of who's queer coded. He wears like a little band around his head, bald. He's like a goatee. He is part of the helping rebuild Lurelin Village quest line, which I loved in that game. That was like that game's version of the Terrytown quest. Anyway, he's such a great character that I'm like, oh, they finally dialed it in after like 25 years.
Sure.
It's like, I think that's what they were going for. I don't think they were trying to make fun of anybody when they were doing this.
I agree. I don't think they were trying to be mean, or I don't think it's a mean-spirited depiction. I think it's also like the Japanese are also like they like to portray like people with like a sense of whimsical like flippancy or flamboyancy that is just like kind of like it. I don't even know if it's like sexually charged or if it's just like some people are goofballs and like they just like.
Speaking of, I went back to Castletown, the footage that I have, and I like these two guys who are endlessly just extremely physically laughing together. It just crack me up every time I see them. And then when you get to the adult timeline, you go to Kakariko Village and they're still there laughing with each other.
That's rules. I wonder. I
love the eccentricities of the NPCs in this game. I mean, maybe they don't have much to say, but like their design and physicality at times is wonderful.
They picked out all the Deku stems and seeds from their shrub.
Yeah. So anyway, our next process is we can do it. Either we can go learn the Song of the Forest from Soraya and then go up Death Mountain and meet the Gorons, or we can meet the Gorons, hit a dead end, and go back.
Well,
but I
found a shortcut.
There are things, yes.
Okay, so first Link presents the letter to the guard.
Yeah.
In Kakariko Village who's blocking the trail to Death Mountain, and the guard's just like, that's hilarious. Like, I love that the princess is like having fun,
having her little adventures,
with this little fairy boy, and he'll let you through. He'll ask you to get the mask, the Keaton mask for his kid,
and I say, nah, dude, I don't care.
And so you start your trek up Death Mountain, right? And you meet a new enemy, the Tektite, who it's just like jumping spiders.
Yeah.
Or like crabs. They're kind of like face huggers from the Alien series. And you meet your first Goron along the way, and he tells you that the cave to their food source has been blocked off by an evil dude in black armor. And you're like, I know a guy that fits that description.
Right.
The same guy that killed my tree dad. And you work your way in. Okay, Josh, what's a Goron? Talk about Gorons for a second.
They're straight up buddies.
Yes. They're like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles without the beaks.
Kind of, yeah. Do you think a Goron is soft, scaly, slimy?
Interesting. I saw some deleted footage from, or like deleted content from Majora's Mask, and apparently the Gorons in one iteration, a bunch of Gorons will jump together and they'll form like a golem.
Yes.
So I think they've got rocky, like kind of like, or at least like leathery tough. I don't think they're like super plushy, but
I wish they were.
They eat rocks
because they love hugs.
They love hugs, but like sometimes like the worst people love hugs.
That's true.
Like I'm thinking about like my big friends, and like hugging them is so nice, but that's because they're like chubby and like it's fun to hug a chubby person.
Yeah.
And I said that with like no judgment. Like it's physically nice to hug a fat person. And I think Goron feel that way about each other because again they eat rocks.
Yeah.
So like they don't have any sense of their like toughness or not, and like it might just be like a guy like you go to like a punk show and you see like your fat punk friend who you haven't seen in a couple of years, and he's got like studs all over his like battle jacket or whatever, and you're like, ow, don't hug me so hard.
Yeah, that's a Goron.
Yeah, they definitely listen to thrash metal.
I think they love to lay around. I don't think they work too hard.
They don't have to.
Yeah.
All their food's just lying around.
Well, and to this point, when you first come into their village at the top of Death Mountain, you talk to a guy who doesn't just say like, oh, there's no food. He says our favorite rocks are in Dodongo's cavern.
Yeah.
And now we're starting like, you're surrounded by rocks.
Yeah, I'm like
this whole
looking
place is
around.
made of rocks.
I mean, that's like humans can technically eat grass, but you don't really want to.
Yeah. I just thought that was a fun detail.
They've got this spiritual stone, the Goron's ruby, and they're all just like licking their lips, looking at that gorgeous rock.
Yeah, all just like ready to kill each other over it. So you can either go there and
okay,
yeah.
So there is a direct passageway in the Goron's kingdom to the Lost Woods, and usually you'd think because again, this is like the literal gatekeeping of this game. Link finds these bomb flowers lying around, but he can't pick them up because he's not strong enough yet. And you need to get a power wristband from Darunia, the king of the Gorons, the leader of the Gorons, the mayor. He's the designated good boy. And I found that you don't need to get that in order to access the Lost Woods from the Goron's kingdom. There's a passageway that's blocked off by boulders that are usually destroyable by bombs. But if you take a Deku stick, light it on fire, and then you put it onto the bombs, it'll blow them right up, and then you can go to the Lost Woods without having to backtrack.
I did spend a minute thinking about like, is there a way to do this?
Sure is, buddy.
Come across that,
and I that was the first time. This last playthrough was the first time I have ever made that realization. I was like, wait, bombs are flammable, right? Like.
Yeah.
And it was a brilliant little gameplay, like it's a little trick there. You don't need to backtrack all the way down Death Mountain and all the way through Kakariko Village and across Hyrule Field and into Kokiri Forest and then the Lost Woods. You can do it the way I just said. It's great. Link needs to learn Soraya's
I say Soraya. It's whatever.
Song in order to take Darunia out of his bad mood.
Yeah. He likes forest music. We get a clue about that.
Yes.
Village,
he wants to hear something green and snappy. Okay, so Soraya, I say Saria. Saria gave Link her ocarina before he left Kokiri Forest, but she didn't teach him a song. It's like bad luck to give somebody a wallet as a gift unless you put money in it. I think it's bad luck to give somebody an ocarina as a gift without teaching them at least a song.
Like point them to where they can get some lessons or something.
Yeah. But
it is weird to make you double back to learn the song. It's like almost your next thing in your quest.
Yes. And Saria's song also establishes like a psychic telephone call with her where you can call her up throughout the childhood segments, and sometimes she'll give you kind of a clue, but it's not that helpful.
It's similar to
the telephone
and old man, old Ryra or whatever in Link's Awakening. That's the telephone.
Yes.
I think this was like a period of Zelda where they weren't quite sure how to help people who were stuck.
Yes.
You know. And they thought this, like, giving them a lifeline to somebody would be helpful.
Well,
but
back
they
in the
already
day,
had Navi.
back in the day, you didn't have game FAQs
Right.
to help you figure out a Nintendo game. They would have phone numbers of a help desk of a guy who knew the game inside and out, and they could talk you through certain segments of the video game that you're stuck on.
Yeah.
It is a woefully missing job opportunity these
also,
days.
like, how many people do you think called into that line and the answer to their question was just get good? like the honest answer would just be like, you just suck at the game. Like, I keep dying on this part. Like, what do I do? It's like, well, you just have to be better at it.
Well, they charge by the minute, so they're going to take their time telling you that. I wish I could have done that job.
That would have been amazing. Yeah. Actually, it probably would have been. I don't know.
It would probably be a living hell.
Yeah.
But, what isn't these days?
Work sucks. I know.
So Link goes he has to navigate the Lost Woods to the entrance of what will eventually become the Forest Temple, which is Saria's like secret grove where she's like, only here can I also just play this song all the time on the ocarina.
Yeah, why not?
And I never really had like formal music lessons as a kid. I kind of just like learned to play stuff by ear. And it's like, how do you not know Saria's song? She's your best friend, and she only plays that song.
Yeah,
and it's only 3 letters or 3 notes.
It takes you 30 seconds for her to finally teach you. All this is silly, sort of CinemaSins level critique. But,
yeah, we suck. We also suck. Yeah,
it's like I don't know. It does make me get question: is there a more elegant way they could have laid out this section of the game instead of making you double back to the forest? Because the nice thing is it does introduce you to this area so that when you come back as an adult, it's familiar.
Sure.
It also connects you potentially to the like shortcuts between the places.
Yes, because the Lost Woods turns into your like central world hub.
Yeah.
Where you can access Lake Hylia and Death Mountain.
Yeah.
And the Kokiri Forest, all from that one spot.
Does not hold up to even the slightest bit of plot scrutiny.
No. Narratively speaking, Saria should have taught you the song when you were leaving the Lost Wood.
Yeah.
That would have made, when you were leaving Kokiri Forest for the first time.
I mean, I guess maybe they want you to have some sense of like time has passed as you return to her.
Sure.
And like, so you're sort of reuniting to some extent, but as old men who have played this enough that this probably took us 45 minutes between when we left the woods and came back, you don't really get that like you would have maybe as a kid, where like this may have been spread out over play sessions over a few weeks.
Sure,
and you're like, yeah, I remember her, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just think narratively speaking, like she's like saying goodbye to her best friend, and she gives him an ocarina just to teach him the song. Then,
yeah,
like, that's my 2 cents on it.
And then you come back 45 minutes later, but so it is whatever. Either way, we get the song. Yeah, now you can call her up anytime you want, and she'll give you similar advice to what Navi will. We can go back. We can cheer up Darunia in Goron Village.
That's right. You know what I like about like getting advice from Saria instead of from Navi? That you ask Saria for advice. Unsolicited advice, tread with caution.
In anywhere in life. Just anywhere.
Yes.
Anytime, anywhere. Yeah. So once we have the song, we play it for Darunia. He's our best friend. And that's when we get a bomb bracelet, I believe, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's called like a power bracelet. I don't think it's called a bomb bracelet, but it serves that purpose. Like now you can pick up bomb flowers, which are just kind of a standalone, like only useful until you can actually get bombs in the next dungeon.
Yeah.
And Darunia is willing to give Link the Goron's ruby, but only if he proves himself worthy of it. Much as the Deku Tree needed to kind of it's funny because the Deku Tree knew it was dying when he gave Link that the mission of like clearing out the Queen Goma. Like he was already on the way out, and I texted this to you last week.
Oh yeah,
where like the spiritual stones are not only each is a treasure of the different races of Hyrule, but it's also like I see this as like they become keys to the sacred realm, where you need them and the Song of Time in order to open the door of time, so that you can get the pedestal of time that has the Master Sword. And once the Master Sword's removed, well, we'll get to that a little bit later. But it's basically, I see the sacred realm as like the concept of nirvana, of reaching enlightenment. And the spiritual stones are kind of they're tokens of enlightenment of each different facet of the Triforce, because green is furore, is courage. So you get the spiritual stone of courage, essentially. You've mastered that aspect of the self. You get the Goron's ruby is you've mastered the power of the bombs and of the fire, and so on and so forth. With the Dora's sapphire wisdom, you got to be smart in order to do all to navigate a fish stuff.
Well, that's I'm trying to think of like what is it about the Zora culture that suggests wisdom. I'm not coming up with anything immediately, but
I think it's like that Bruce Lee quote, like be water. Water can take the form of any vessel that it occupies. It's flexible. It doesn't it doesn't require brute force for water to be a powerful thing, because just a stream of water can form canyons in rock over time. But it needs time.
And there's like a the sort of layout of how we get to and from Zora's domain is there's something about the water of the Hyrule Kingdom, whatever this is in this point. Like it all flows downstream from them. This sort of life-giving water.
Yeah,
but
they're the world's Brita filter.
Yeah.
And it's wise to filter your water.
So once we've cheered Darunia up, we get those bracelets. We can now pick up
a hot
flowers.
Dance segment too.
Yes, I ran that for anybody watching on YouTube to enjoy. But now we can enter Dodongo's Cavern because we are able to pick up bomb flowers nearby, and there's a fun little puzzle to get in there of throwing it over the ledge.
Yes.
And because they're not like right next to it. I don't know. I don't really have much else to add to that. It's just kind of like, okay.
Yeah. The Goron City is just like a chill place. Like I'd hang out with these guys for sure.
I mean, I think it's probably my least favorite of the villages, cities in Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
It's like kind of too much brown wall for me to want to hang out and hold memory of it, I guess.
The Gorons are one of my favorite races.
Yeah,
but their home is not the most dynamic or interesting.
Yeah.
What is interesting about the Gorons is the different sizes they can grow to. You go through a lock, a couple boulders, and then all of a sudden you're face to face with a 20-foot tall Goron who is a blacksmith.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what's up with this guy?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean you're this big? Like, it's just like, are these kind of like, is it the older ones are just bigger? Or is it that if they eat,
to be fair, his name is Big Goron.
Yeah.
So it could be like, he's the weird one. He just got real big.
I've always been very stupid. And as a kid, I remember because the big Goron sword is it's an optional super weapon that's twice as powerful, maybe 3 times as powerful as the Master Sword. And as a kid, it never occurred to me that it was the big Goron sword, because it was all spelled as one word. I was like, what's a Bigoron?
The big I didn't notice.
And the Gorons are like, that's our word.
That's hilarious. I always thought it was Because now I'm wondering, like, is Big the descriptor of the sword or the Goron who gives it? I thought his name is Big Goron, so it's
I would
Big
assume
Goron's sword.
Yeah. It's the sword made by Big Goron.
Yeah. But I haven't gotten there yet in this playthrough. So
That's okay.
We'll see.
There's some collectathons to get that thing that's just like you're gonna wonder if it's worth it.
Oh, I'm gonna have the guide open. I'm gonna burn through it as fast as possible.
It's not. It's a foot race. It sucks, but it's fun, and you're gonna have a great time. It's the best game ever made. So you get access to the Dodongo Cavern, and once you go in, you realize, like there were kaiju-sized Dodongos. Like the entrance to the final boss in the Dodongo's cavern is the skull of a divine beast sized Dodongo, which is a little fire breathing dragon that explodes when it dies.
Yeah, I guess so. I thought of it as like architectural design.
No way, dude.
I never thought of it as like, oh, this is just a skeleton that landed here.
Yeah. I truly believe that is
more accurate.
I don't see that because like you go to like the Dodongo city, they're not like craftsmen of, and it's like that in Breath of the Wild too. Like you get to Death Mountain and like all their houses are just like kind of like junk that's like strapped on each other. It's all function over form, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's like it's there to serve as a shelter, but it's not it's the opposite of the Zora, right? Where the Zora have like the most incredible architecture, at least in Breath of the Wild. Like their architecture is stunning. It's beautiful. And you go to Zora's domain, you're like, oh my God, like these beautiful creatures, like with their wisdom have made like heaven on earth. But and then Goron City is like, yeah, no, we just put up some roofs.
Some garbage we found.
Yeah, we just don't want to get lava on our bodies. Like,
it gets a little uncomfortable if the lava rolls in your body. So I just threw this scrap of garbage I found up in the hills over my head.
Well, this is sure sounding like your brother-in-law. Hey, what's up, stupid? I'm drunk.
I'm stupid, I'm drunk, and I eat rocks. So I hide under some garbage at night.
Yeah. And this is the second dungeon for Link to traverse as he's on his quest to collect the spiritual stone. Mm-hmm. And this is where you learn that the Deku shield is highly flammable.
Yeah.
And
I lost one and then found another one in the dungeon.
That's right. Yeah. Behind a explodable wall, you can find a treasure chest with a Deku shield. I think I said earlier that I went into a shop to buy a second Deku shield. That's not true. I'd never replace the shield if I lose it. I like the aesthetic of Link without a shield.
Yeah.
And I like the added difficulty because like when you have the one-on-one, we were talking about this last episode, the style of fighting that Z targeting kind of helped like that was the inspiration for the Z targeting fights where you're going to be like latched onto somebody and you're running circles around each other.
Yeah. And that all the other contenders are going to wait their turn.
Yes.
Around the edges.
Like in any good action movie.
Yeah.
Like they're going to wait their turn before the hero can beat them up. It's fun. Like especially with like the one-on-one fights with like the Lizalfos.
I was going to say it's very prominent in these Lizalfos fights.
Yes. Which are some of my favorite fights in the game. Like the Lizalfos fights and the Stalfos fights later on. Mm-hmm. The one-on-one fight with a humanoid that has a sword and shield as well, or at least a sword. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. The sword fighting in this game, it's like simpler and clunkier than I remember even still. Like I found that given that like understanding that design, we mentioned this last time, that like I could really just go in swinging and not think too hard. And I can't remember. I think I've only died so far to the Phantom Ganon fight.
Okay.
Like there's maybe this a Stalfos fight I got pretty close, but like I don't really get hit much by just wildly swinging and not strategizing how to dodge, how to like,
Yeah.
The hardest thing to remember is if you're using your shield, you have to physically put it down before you can swing, which I'm pretty sure is not the case in Breath of the Wild.
No,
pretty sure you can have it up and keep swinging
like a stab
with most items. Yeah. So that's been throwing me a little bit. Like most of these fights, I'm like, just swing. Who cares?
It's funny.
You won't die.
I kind of, and I don't know if this is like in the same like mindset as like a min-maxer, but I utilize the jump slash
Right.
because it's 3 times as powerful as a normal sword swipe, and like I will like put myself at risk just to get that powerful hit on them because it'll kind of speed up some of the especially boss fights. Like I never use a normal sword slash when you've got a stunned boss to attack. You just do a couple jump slashes, and sometimes you can defeat them in like one cycle.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like if I was paying closer attention, that's how I'd be playing.
You're probably having more fun than me. Also, by the way.
I'm just like, yeah, I'm having a good time swinging. Who cares? I'll get it eventually.
And I'm like yelling at myself like a Russian like ballet coach or something.
Yeah. So I mean, the highlight of this dungeon is that it's a process of you need to make it to the highest point where there's a bridge over the skull, and you have to light up its eyes by dropping bombs into it. And that's kind of the main thing.
Yeah.
It's also like
the bombs are the most important part of this dungeon. Is that you get a bag of bombs that you can now hold bombs on your person.
Yeah, which is a little anticlimactic in a way. Like when you go in a dungeon in this era of Zelda, I don't know if I talked about this with the first dungeon, but like what I always refer to as I like busted this dungeon wide open moment usually happens when you get the item and you're like, oh, I can solve every puzzle by just using this item. But with this one, it's like there's already bombs around, and getting the bomb bag is just like, okay, now I have to find the places where I needed to bomb something, but there wasn't a bomb flower nearby. And it's just like a little less exciting to engage with the item when you get it. But still a cool, like aha moment. Like, each dungeon has a pretty good aha moment that I can recall so far. Again, I've only replayed through the Forest Temple at this point, but it's like we had the spider web thing. Now we have, drop the bombs in the eyes.
And bombs turn into like one of the most important like sub weapons in the game, because once you have access to the bombs now, you've got a lot of secret doors that you can access as a result.
Yeah.
And that's one of the fun parts that as a first time player of this game, I remember like even in the Deku tree, there's a bombable wall that you're like, what? Like, and like, if you remember it, you can go back, and I believe it's a gold skulltula behind it in that case. Pretty anticlimactic, but like you've got a reason to backtrack and to do some more thorough exploration of the world once you get the bombs.
This is something like they started in Link to the Past. Like that very first sewer dungeon has either a bombable wall or a dashable wall.
Yeah.
And like if you are a player who understood that or discovered that and learned it, internalized it, it taught you how to play every Zelda game basically for the rest of time. Like even to like this day, experiencing Breath of the Wild with like my wife and kid playing it this winter, not knowing like Zelda logic. Like there were several moments where they would miss bombable walls.
Yeah.
That were like clearly telegraphed to be bombed. And I'd be like, oh, what do you think of those rocks over there, huh? Like anything weird about it? You know, like you'd have to point that out to him. Whereas like for us, you go, oh yeah, I know Zelda. I know I'm supposed to bomb that.
I see bombable walls in real life. Like where there's some construction and they just didn't use the same colored rock, and you're like, what's behind there?
Yeah. So that's, I don't know what else about Dodongo's Cavern is exciting. That's about all I have to say about it.
Yeah, there's a mini boss in this fight as well. It's like a fire. No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking the fire temple.
There's the Lizalfos, and then I think there's a room where there might be a room where you have to clear all the Dodongos. I don't recall, but those are kind of the two main things in this dungeon.
King Dodongo is pretty cool looking boss fight. You're in like a lava pit, and there's a dang Godzilla over there.
Yeah, I did not have fun with the camera in this fight. I didn't die, but like there's just like a couple of times where I missed on behalf of the camera and did not appreciate that.
That'll happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, you light up the eyeballs, and that gives you access to like a subterranean pathway that leads you to like the Dodongo's like a room. I don't know what he's doing besides trying to eat people in here.
It's just like his, it's his lair.
Yeah. Like a den.
Yeah, it's his den. He
Sure.
just chills out there most of the day. Like how my cat, she has her spots that she just hangs out most of the day because she sleeps for 18 hours a day.
Must be nice.
But yeah, it's the same logic that Dodongos have had since Zelda 1. Feed them a bomb.
Yeah. And I believe the hint in the first Zelda game was that Dodongos hate smoke.
Something like that, yeah. And then your hint in this game is you've played enough Zeldas that you know the logic is use the item you got in the dungeon on the boss.
Use your new toy.
Yeah.
You throw a bomb into his gaping mouth as he's like charging up a fire blast at you. Bomb explodes in his belly or in his throat, and then he's stunned and hit him a bunch.
Oh yeah, I'm watching the playback. Oh, one of my other things I had to fight is how to throw a bomb.
Yeah. You got to be pressing forward.
They didn't have enough buttons back then to make it its own dedicated button, and so I just kept putting the bomb down and picking it back up because I was having trouble. Which actually I want to talk about like the DS controls. On the 3DS version I'm playing is so frustrating that the Nintendo 3DS has L2, R2, a D-pad, A, B, X, Y, and they put all of the item controls. You get Y and X, you can assign an item. We talked about this, I think, last time, but I'm just sort of reiterating that it is continually frustrating me throughout. The Ocarina is permanently assigned to a touch control. There's 2 items that are only touch control. And like, I'm like, okay, I'm just being overly frustrated because my touch control is my laptop, which is like, I have to reach over.
Yeah, this is a problem of your own making here.
But like, the more I think about it, it's like, so like, they thought you should take out the stylus, like remove yourself from interfacing with the game, take out the stylus and start poking around every time you wanted to make changes. I was like, no, even then I disagree with this. You had all these other buttons you could have mapped items to. That it just seems that they were a little too into touch controls.
Interesting.
And being like, well, we got to use them.
Now you don't need to use the stylus.
So I would look forward to that going away in a remake as well.
And I think my main complaint about playing, because I played the Switch port of Ocarina of Time through the N64 Switch Online. And my main complaint was that all of the C buttons were mapped onto the right stick. And I didn't realize that you can remap buttons natively on the Switch.
Yeah.
And so I remapped all of my C buttons onto the D-pad, which is completely unused in that port.
I may have done the same thing.
It made it so much more enjoyable.
I fired it up for a few minutes last night. I
can play the songs without like feeling like I'm putting in like I'm trying to do a Hadouken at the arcade.
Yeah. Because I fired it up last night just to see like how bad the latency is on the emulated version I'm playing. It's like, it's a little floaty now that I've played it, but it's whatever. It's worth it. I'm living with it.
Okay, so Link defeats King Dodongo and it rolls into the pit of lava where it then petrifies. That's also what happens to the Deku tree. It also petrifies at its death. And you got to assume that these are like, when you see something, and I said this about the Gorons, like you see something super big, you're like, oh, are they just like super old? And I think that's the case with the Dodongos. Like the longer that they live, the bigger they get. That's like dragon logic.
That's Dragons 101, baby.
Yeah. And
I learned about that in undergrad.
You went to Dragon 101.
Yeah.
And it seems like, as Link is going through, he's seeing the death of the old world as a result of Ganondorf's meddling. And it's like, I think Ganondorf didn't put King Dodongo there, but he enraged him.
Yeah.
And
Ganon is an accelerationist.
Yes. And so we're seeing the death of the natural world and we're seeing the replace like this. I mean, Ganondorf is imperialism. He's trying to build a Gerudo-led empire in retaliation against the people of Hyrule. And so I
He's
think
replacing all the old culture with AI.
and it seems like it's another part that like resonates really deeply with players, and why so many people hold this at such high esteem is that it's the story of it's the story of growing up. Like this is just Link seeing himself
learning how the world works,
and also saying goodbye to all of the staples of his childhood. And I mean, his mentor, his neighbors are all dying. All of his old friends are dying. And it's just like, that's like one of the like kind of the subtle tragedy of Ocarina of Time.
200,000 views on YouTube.
There it is. That's the title. The subtle tragedy. Oh, and we're gonna talk about it with really hushed voices. This is lore that you can fall asleep to. Lore to disassociate to.
Dude, I love those.
Yeah, I do.
I love those for FromSoft games. Oh, it's the best. So the next thing I did is we'll probably wrap this one, but
you escape the big hugs.
You escape the big hugs.
Darunia gives you the ruby. He claim your brothers now.
Yeah, which rules. I've always wanted me a big buddy brother.
Yes, sir.
But I did the climb the mountain to meet the Great Fairy, which they tell you to do next, but like you could just skip, of course.
This is the only essential Great Fairy in the game. And I don't.
How do you need it?
She gives you magic power.
Yeah.
And you need magic to use the Lens of Truth to get through the desert later. And I can't think of other things that
the entrance to the Shadow Temple.
And to shoot light arrows.
Yeah.
And you definitely need those in the game.
You have to cast that fire
Din's fire
thing to get into the Shadow Temple, I think. Right?
Yes. So I
pulled that one from 25 years ago because I haven't replayed that yet.
I think that this is the only Great Fairy that you need to see. But I mean, it's obviously there's a lot of incentive to meet them. Okay, let's talk about the Great Fairy real quick. Beat off material.
Oh yeah, big time.
Oh yeah, N64 era. You're like, oh boy. Well, I don't even know who Chapel Roan is, but this. And then the Great Fairy yells at somebody's kid or something. I forget what happened with that.
Yeah, I didn't follow any of this Chapel Roan drama what was that, like a month ago? What is wrong with people? Leave her alone.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Just leave her alone.
I did not understand these fairies as a kid. I think that they're doing their best. Again, it gets fleshed out so well when you get to Breath of the Wild.
Oh yeah.
Of like, oh, these are just like big curvy hotties.
Yes.
Is the intention.
But they're also like these like they're like fragments of the old world before like Hylians ruled Hyrule. Mm-hmm. Like they are the natural order. Like they're like directly linked to the goddesses somehow. Like they have that special magic that is only in like sure you need to play Zelda's Lullaby to access them, and it seems like these are Hylian built temples to the Great Fairies, whereas in Breath of the Wild they are inhabiting these like flower pods that like seem to be like sprouting naturally throughout the world. Mm-hmm. In this case, they are like demi goddesses. Like they're different representations of the creator goddesses of this. But mostly they're just like power-ups that you find in the game. Like you now have magic power, which means that your spin attack is going to have a increased radius, which is very nice when you're trying to cut down a lot of grass.
Yeah, I used it on accident recently, and I was like, oh yeah, I have that.
Yeah.
I just completely forget. All the magic in this game is pretty forgettable. Which in the interviews with like Miyamoto I was reading, he talks about that of like the team wanted to add more things that you would officially call like quote unquote magic. And like he was sort of like, no, like that's what the Ocarina's for. The Ocarina is for casting your magic spells.
Link is not a wizard.
Minimal. Yeah.
He's not a wizard. He's not casting spells, but the idea of using songs as spells, I think is very closely related to like the Japanese like practice of Shintoism, where like you sing songs in order to worship in certain, and I think that's what the ocarina is also doing.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked a little bit about Shintoism in our talk about Star Fox, but we're not going to get into that. We're not going to get into it. We're not Japanese. We don't understand
the deep Shinto roots of Star Fox 64. Hour and a half long.
700,000
views.
Baby! Now we're micro celebrities.
Anyways, yeah, that's basically the end of Death Mountain. Probably a good place to wrap today's discussion.
Yeah. So
we might start going through them faster now that it's mostly just dungeon hopping for most of the rest of the game.
Yep.
But like, I'm not going to promise anything, and I don't mind milking several episodes out of a good game.
It's a good game. It's not the best, but it's pretty dang good, buddy. Mm-hmm. I enjoy it. Much like when we talked our way through Terminator 2, where I watched the movie, I pressed stop, rewind, and then I just watched it again. Yeah. I also did that with this game, where I beat it, and I was like, you know what? I'm going back. I need this right now. We're in World War III, baby. I need to feel good.
Yeah. That's where this ends.
Camp Video Games.
Patreon.com/Camp Video Games. If you want to pay for this to show up, in your YouTube feed every other week or so, and if I can fix it, also in your podcast feed.
We're trying.
Yeah, that broke like a year and a half ago, and I have this dream of figuring out where that lives and fixing it. We'll see.
I shouldn't be in charge of like administrative duties, honestly.
But then the problem is I don't want to be, because I do that for my day job and it's boring. But now I'm like, okay, no, I can do it.
Camp Video Games seeking an intern.
Yeah.
We'll pay with juice boxes.
Honestly, I would take that. I would take somebody who was like, I like this show enough that I want to make sure it shows up in podcast feeds. It would just do the boring, tedious work of fixing and updating the RSS feed.
All we need is your social security number, and
for routing purposes.
Yeah, no,
for
definitely.
Us routing money to you.
Sure.
Definitely. We're being honest.
Well,
this is a good podcast.
We're doing it, folks. We are proving that this is the best video game ever made, and there's never going to be. You know what? It's false. You're never going to be happy. You're never going to feel the same way you felt when you were a kid. And don't try to force this on your kids, because they're not going to like it. And you're going to realize that all of the things that you cherished and held dear are dead.
Oh, you just edited my Chrono Trigger video essay for me. You just trimmed it from 15,000 words to about 100.
Life is meaningless and happiness is fleeting, and there is no certainty of any satisfaction. And there's multiple endings.
That also it invented New Game Plus.
Ooh, yeah.
The end.
Okay, campers, sure to like and subscribe, tell a friend, bring a friend over to Camp Video Games. Hey, sit down in a circle with your closest friends, light the candles, spill the blood, listen to Camp Video Games.
Sleep now in the fire. Till next time, we'll be back. Where's the stop button?
If you'd like to write to us, send a message to campvideogames@gmail.com and follow us on Instagram @campvideogames. If you want to become a real happy camper, you can support Camp Video Games on Patreon. For $5 a month, you'll be granted access to even more discussions about movie-based video games, game-based movies, full-length commentaries, playthroughs, and more. Whether you sign up or not, we're glad to have you here at Camp Video Games.